Is there a common myth about retirement planning that you wish more people would let go of? What's one financial decision should I have made in my 20s or 30s? We're not taught this in school. What would you say is a financial red flag you tell someone to fix ASAP? You have a lot of people who store their money in the bank, in the freezer, hiding them under a mattress.
No.
When is it too late? Hello and welcome to StreetSmarts MBA, the podcast where we teach you how to be an adult. If you're new here, you're not late. We're just getting started. And today's topic feels a little uncomfortable. It's about retirement. So for today's guest, we have someone very special who is going to help us not be afraid of it so much anymore. We have Boris Mikhail here today. Boris is a seasoned financial advisor with over a decade of experience guiding individuals, families, and business owners through strategic planning, tax optimization, and wealth building. And as a proud father of not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5, okay? Boris understands the real-world challenges of balancing career, family, and financial priorities. On today's episode, Boris shares practical insights to help you build wealth with purpose. So let's get started. Hello, Boris.
Hello, Yafa.
Thanks for being here.
So excited. This is
I'm
really,
a little
really
nervous.
thrilled.
Yeah, okay. So let's be real. You know, we work our whole life. And then we wake up one day and realize, wait a minute, I'm not sure if I planned correctly with my finances. I thought I'd be retired by now. I thought I had this whole vision of the rich and famous. And we're not there yet. So what did we need to do to have been a bit more prepared? And maybe you could help us with that.
Yeah, it's a very good question. I think when we talk about money, it's a very psychological topic, very emotional topic. And the reason why I've transitioned into a full financial planning career is because of that. My focus is really to be an educator, to provide financial literacy at every age of humans' life. Over the decade, the financial planning field has evolved, where the new way of thinking about finance is just not about numbers. It's not just about how much am I earning, am I going to have enough? It's really a mind shift of holistic planning. When we talk about what does that really mean, it's really putting yourself, your feelings, into perspective of what makes you happy. What are your values? Why do you even work? Do you appreciate working? Do you like what you do? Are you happy with the 20 hours a day job? It's really putting a full comprehensive view perspective about what we call the 4 pillars. Focuses on health, finances, purpose, and of course family. It's a full journey from birth until past legacies, past people's retirement, past post-life. We always think about multi-generational protection, multi-generational planning. And when we always start talking about retirement, and when we talk about money, it really comes to perspective about focusing holistic plan. And what I always say is we take baby steps, so we don't get anxious. We break it down into elephant bites, as we say. We don't want to eat the elephant in 20 bites at a time. We want to eat them step by step to really articulate your life's value. Edward Jones' philosophy is focused on family values. The firm is family-oriented, and the grassroots focuses on family generational value and making what's right for the client, for the families, always about value. As we evolve into a more holistic approach, we not just want to talk about the money and always focusing on the 4 pillars.
Boris, you talk about retirement as a new chapter, not the end. Why is that mental shift so important today?
Really good question. It's the most important chapter as people transition from having a purpose of working into a new chapter of what's next. We see there are statistics that demonstrate a percentage of retirees where physically they get decline. However, their mental state becomes more vibrant, more stable. Why? The stress changes, the family values change. They really start to learn more about themselves. I just finished a course about business planning and well-being. We always focus on the three legs of stool. You always want to talk about your personal finances, your business planning, finances, and then life planning. We always forget about life planning. And that's one of the key components is what do you want to do when you retire? But that takes a journey to plan for. A lot of mistakes people focus on is, I'll deal with it when I get to retirement. I'll focus on it when you're retirement. But it's always important to start today.
Boris, let's be honest here. Most people, including myself, in their 20s and 30s, we don't think about retirement. We think we'll get a high-paying job and things will work out in the end. Everything will be fine. So what's one financial decision should I have made in my 20s or 30s?
Well, first question is, everyone should think about retirement. Should always think about the future. If they don't, please call me. We should think about yourself first. Second, I think it's always important to pay yourself first. What does that concept mean? People are focused on making their credit card payments. People are focused on making their mortgage. But why can't people focus on paying themselves first? What if we change a paradigm of mind shift? You become your own credit card. You are paying yourself first before you pay everyone else. Every earnings you receive contribute into yourself first. There's always investment strategies of you working, get a 401k. Why not get a 401k?
This is a bit mind-blowing for me because this is not how we're trained to think about finances. We're not taught this in school.
Right, and that's the problem.
And when you say pay yourself first, what does that mean? Do I take myself out to vacation? What does that mean?
No.
So you set up a retirement account is what you mean?
Oh, you set up a retirement account. We set up a long-term planning account.
Okay.
You set up various strategies of how you allocate every money you earn.
At what age?
From birth.
From birth? So parents should be setting this up for their children at birth.
Absolutely.
What does that look like?
So that looks like creating a retirement plan for your kids, creating a financial plan for you, including your kids.
Okay.
Thinking about their college needs, thinking about building wealth for them, thinking about some of investment opportunities on behalf of a child.
Okay.
The kids have birthday parties. They get money. I tell my kids all the time, the kids receive money for birthday gifts. They know it has to go in the piggy bank.
Okay.
Or they know it has to go in a bank account. I was talking to one of my childs this morning, one of my sons. He said, "Oh, how much money do I have in my account?" Right?
Okay.
It's a programming mind shift where it has to start at an early age.
Okay, so let's break this down. You have set up a bank account for them.
Absolutely.
What kind of a bank account is this? You just put money in it?
There are various options. There's custodial accounts. There are retirement accounts on behalf of a child. There's a savings account, money market. There's a lot of opportunities out there available to set up for your next generation legacy.
When is it too late?
It's never too late. That's the key.
Wow. So what would you say is a financial red flag you tell someone to fix ASAP?
Financial plan red flag means different things for everybody else. I would say the most important thing of thinking of financial planning is living within the means. Focus on what is essential. Focus on what's the needs, the wants, and the wishes. Because if you cannot afford to go on a trip that's going to cost you $10,000 more than what you make, right? You may want to prioritize. Are your expenses within your means? Do you live within your means? Right? Having that balance of a budget becomes a really critical component of financial comprehensive planning. As one of the pillars in finance we always talk about is your balancing and budgeting and living within your means and your goals.
Boris, where did you learn of this the first time? Do you learn this in school?
I learned it in school. So
What
my
did
mother used to always tell me when you earn $1, you split it into 3 buckets.
Your mother taught
My
you
mother
that?
yeah. I never listened to her, honestly,
Wow.
because I was making good salary when I was young and I wanted to spend.
What? Your mother was a nurse, wasn't she?
nurse, yeah.
She was a nurse. How did she know this stuff? So what were the 3 buckets?
You put short-term, long-term,
Mm-hmm.
a rainy day. That's how
Wow.
I kind of call it now, right? You take a third for your needs, or kind of in the current evolution of financial planning. What are your needs? What are your goals? And what are your wishes?
Wow.
You bucket them into 3 categories. Your needs are your essential means of living today. Your rent, your utility bill, your phone. Your wants are where do you want to, you may want to go out tomorrow. You may go to movies, vacation in the next year. Kind of your intermediate goals. And then your wishes are your long-term ideal goals, your retirement, which is kind of your needs, but you want to think about your wishes. Maybe you want to take a trip 5 years from now, but it's really your rainy day fund.
Okay. So from that, you decided, what did you study in school?
So my background is in accounting.
Okay.
I have a bachelor's of science in accounting,
Okay.
and my master's is an MBA.
So I took a graduate course in accounting. We did not learn that there.
No,
Okay.
accounting is very different than financial planning.
Okay. So
Accounting is very compliance focused. You have to do taxes, you have to do debits and credits.
right. So that's my question. When did you first learn of investments or planning for retirement?
So I always wanted to pursue this career when I was in high school.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
my first dream job was a doctor. Then my mother said, "You're out of your mind. You're never gonna make any money because it's too much risk and liability." And then went to accounting. I hated accounting degree. I never got into it. I knew taxes very well. I learned taxes, and I became really good at it. And then over time, I started dabble and learn a little about investment. I lost a lot of money before I became a financial advisor. And then that's when I said, I was like, you know what? I want to help people. I want to educate them, making smart, strategic decisions to protect their money and make their money work for them.
So when you first had your first child, did you immediately put money in a bank for them? How did you?
I did. Personally, I created a college fund for them. I created a custodial account for them.
Did you work with a financial advisor as
I did
well?
not. At that point, I was doing it on my own.
You just through reading and research.
Research, kind of,
That's incredible.
Yes,
Okay.
it was a good journey.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm really humble and honored to be able to help people of various stages of life to prepare for the next chapter, whatever that is. Either retirement, buying a house, having a grandchild, having a child of their own, third marriage or fourth marriage. But it's really, really being there for them as they proceed with their journey of life.
Okay, Boris. So as part of the pillar for family that you mentioned, let's talk more about how to prep, how to set it up properly to optimize all of your options.
So we always focus on a holistic picture for the individual, which includes their family. When we talk about family, we want to talk about multi-generational family. So where you start, where you came from, and then what you're going to leave for legacy. Typically, with a family has grandkids, children, nephews, we may want to think about college programs for them. 529 programs are college savings programs. They are a great tax-efficient programs that allow you to save for your kids from first grade to post-college, 8th grade, all the way up to 18, and then post-college and graduate school, to allow you to pay for school at a tax-free. The right option, the right solution for the right family needs to be discussed with the financial professional so that the right review has to be performed in order to the client and the family make sure that they pick the right solution for them. It's really, really, really important to plan but plan strategically where we're not just looking for the highest earnings or the highest performance, but we're also thinking ahead on how it's going to affect your taxes, how it's going to affect your legacy, how it's going to affect your current state of financial being, and how it's going to affect the post. It's the full ecosystem, the full comprehensive planning.
Where could we learn more about this?
By contacting a financial professional like myself that could really walk you through various options. Every situation is unique. Every family dynamics and the needs are always different. And understanding what those needs are the most critical pieces of the puzzle to building a full picture on where to begin.
So is there a common myth about retirement planning that you wish more people would let go of?
Yes. Oh, that question. That resonates so well. Yes, unfortunately, people don't prioritize retirement planning from when they need to, when they start earning money. But why? I think people are psychologically, we're not programmed to think far in advance. We always have so many priorities today, and it's hard to envision for us what's going to happen in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. One of the myths I always hear from various people is, oh, I don't have money to save. Oh, I have too many bills now. Oh, I have to get ready for my child's event. Yeah, but what about you? What about yourself? What about your retirement? Right? So those expenses will always happen. One after another, things will always come up. Focus on yourself first. Invest in yourself. Create a retirement account as part of your first priority. And then everything else. Because there's always going to be events in life. Always. It's called life events. One after another. But retirement's not going to go away. You're going to retire, God's willing. And God.
Here's a question everyone here, I bet you wants to know. Do you have to be rich to retire?
Favorite question. I like that. So how do we define rich is the question that I want to ask. What makes you rich? Everyone you ask will provide you a different answer. Some people will say, I have the family that I want. Some people say, I need a $2 million house. Some people say, I need more money. Some people say, my health, right? What defines you rich is really up to the individual person, right? And understanding the values, the goals, the purpose of what makes you rich makes you a comprehensive financial planning advisor more valuable to achieve your goals.
How much money do you need in order to be able to retire? And I know it's different for everyone because people are living longer now.
They are living longer, and that's a more important thing.
Yeah.
Because people want to do different stuff. And again, it comes down to what is their life expectancy during retirement.
Okay.
If they're looking to travel, then they may need to think about a different rate of return or a higher rate of return or something, a higher savings rather than someone who wants to just be with their grandkids. The number really is customized to each person based on their needs during the retirement. As a financial advisor, what I do is a creative financial plan customized for the individual based on their need to live in retirement, which could be very different than their current needs, which factors in what their goals are, what their needs are, and what their wishes are. And that's why having a purpose as part of our pillars is very important to understand what the value of the client are focusing on.
I bet you a lot of people are like, well, me, that's very...
Well, let me ask you a different question.
Yeah.
If you are taking care of somebody who is relying on you and dependent on you, and God forbid you're ill or if you get sick, how are you going to take care of someone? Statistically, people in retirement or as they get older, it's all about caregiving. More generations people are focusing on caregiving. Their grandparents, their families, their mothers, their fathers, their ill sibling. But if you can't take care of them, how are they going to get taken care of? And that's the question I would ask all the audience to think about. Who's going to take care of them when you're not available, when you're not around?
That and your burial. Did you make plans for yourself yet? The post.
I did.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, part of life cycle.
I'm completely clueless on these things.
No, retirement planning is just one piece of a 1,000-piece puzzle. That's why we always focus on the 4 components, pillars of the life, from the time to build a plan from starting as early as possible. And it's a roller coaster, right? The plan adjusts, the goals change. We, as a financial advisor, we not only plan for retirement, we really plan from your goals, your needs, and your wants.
So all of this sounds very complicated, and this is a lot of information.
So I would say number 1 is trust but validate. You want to trust the information, but you also want to validate with a third-party resource, someone who's knowledgeable in the field, someone who's expert in the field, someone who understands what the relevant of the information is, someone could verify for you before you do anything. A lot of people, they hear good news they always hear that invest here to get the maximum rate of return, invest here to various outcome, but you could also lose, and it could be also very risky. And people could lose retirement money. They could lose their savings. They could get sued and lose something. So I always, again, say trust and verify. The other piece I also want to recommend is protect your assets. Protect your assets. That's really, really instrumental. People work their butt off all your life, build a legacy for the family, and then you could lose everything. How do you protect your asset?
You have a lot of people who store their money in the bank, in a savings account or a checking account, in the freezer, hiding them under a mattress.
No. That has a lot of concerns too.
Yeah. So how can you protect your assets?
Part of comprehensive planning, we may want to discuss various different trusts with your attorney to protect your assets. A trust is ultimately a legal entity on its own, but the trust spells out and controls how the assets is managed and regulated. But you always want to protect your assets. That's number 2 critical component. You build, you work hard, you protect.
How do I know what and who is the right financial advisor for me? What's the screening process?
So that's a really important question. There are a million financial advisors in the market. We always want to focus on who do you connect. There has to be a strong relationship. Then second piece is credentials. You want to focus on a fiduciary financial advisor. You want to look at their background check. There are websites online. You could check through FINRA and through SEC on some of the credentials of financial advisors. But those are really 2 main focus of areas of how you want to pick out a financial advisor.
Are there certain financial advisors that specialize in one thing rather than the other, or is a financial advisor supposed to be knowledgeable in all of these things?
So there are financial advisors that are specialized in a particular field of the business or of the area. A comprehensive financial advisor should be able to dissect and comprehend and maybe refer and bring in the right level of expert as needed throughout the life of the journey. For example, if the discussion is focusing on a trust and developing a trust, we may want to bring in a trust attorney to help plan that out with the attorney. And it depends on the particular need. I usually work with the various subject matter experts. For example, accountants. When we create taxes and we work with clients on their impact on taxes, I bring in a tax professional from the client's perspective so that we can have a comprehensive plan on what are the investment strategies and how they will impact tax strategies.
So when a client meets with you for the first time, what does that look like? Is it an hour-long session that you allocate to them, or is it face-to-face? Could it be done over the phone?
Yes. So the first initial question for me is always really, 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 really important to connect with the client. the relationship is the most instrumental, the most valuable piece of any engagement with any clients that I work with. I like to do an introduction call with a prospect typically. What that entails is really just to talk to them, get to know them, make sure that we're a right match, that they connect with me, that I connect with them. Because my objective, again, is to provide value to them, respect them, and to be able to help them achieve their goals, whatever those are. Then we start talking about their goals, a full, detailed, comprehensive plan on their goals, needs, and wishes. Looking to defining their goals, meeting their spouses, meeting their other dependents or their family members who are involved with the decision making. The more I know the client, the more I get to know them, the more effective I become as a financial advisor to provide them value. Basically. It's typically an hour or so meeting.
Okay, Boris, what's the one lesson that no one taught you about money growing up that you wish they had? It seems like you're a very knowledgeable mom. Coming from another country as an immigrant, she knew to give you that advice. That's pretty impressive. So yeah, what do you wish on top of that you wish you knew?
Yeah, so I like that question because it's really more for me about some of the mistakes that I've made as I was growing up, and I'm still growing up, I guess. We all grow up and we always learn something new. For me, it was about not saving correctly when I was younger. When I was in college, I had a really good jobs. I had many good jobs throughout my career where I spent a lot. We went out to dinners a lot, and that was kind of a lessons learned, being more mindful about long-term savings.
What does your dream retirement look like to you?
That's a good question. I never thought about that, honestly. It's always focusing on what we do today, right, as a psychological, that's what we thought about. For me, it's about being with the family. Hopefully, they will still be local, not move away as they get older. Being there with them, for them, as they get older, as they marry off and have kids, to be living comfortably at that age, whatever that means for me at that point. But it's really about the health for me and seeing the future of my grandkids.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of StreetSmarts MBA. Thank you so much.
We're so glad you're here.